And I want to refine this design. We got the core design down. I'm going to try another launch. As far as this design goes, though, I want to take this design and make it slightly bigger. We're going to get rid of that entirely. I want to add another engine on the end of the wings because I can. And because the amount of thrust that this is getting is not enough. It still can't hold its altitude very well. We're gonna add another engine to it. I'm gonna see if it still launches and flies with just another engine added to it. And it does, it flies. I gotta turn SAS off, otherwise. Oh, it's bending a lot. It's like flapping its wings. That's funny. Oh, that is very wobbly. I'm not touching anything right now. It's like it's flapping its wings. It's like a bird is what it is. Flappy bird. Oh god, it's getting worse. SAS was not helping. There, it is finally stabilized and stopped flapping. Yeah, we'll try and do wings in the center like a biplane. So it has two connections. Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna need to rotate these. Yeah, those should not be controlling the roll. These big wings are the only thing that should be controlling the roll, and I don't even have them set to control the roll. Yeah, much more stable. Yeah, I have SAS off, RCS off. I'm not touching anything right now. So we added one more engine, and now we have the two wings in the center. I think it needs to be medium size. I don't know if we can do... Can we just do this? It doesn't like me pulling it so far away to the thing that I've attached it to. I don't think you can attach a wing to another wing. That's the problem I'm having. I'm trying to... Oh, you can kind of... Yeah, you can. You can attach a wing to another wing. And then we take this, flatten it like that. I think it's somewhere like that. Like that. And then root length, I think we had like 10. And then tip length, we had about 10. Yeah, we're making it to 13,000 meters. Like, we're good. Oh, it's really, yup, okay. So our center of mass got pushed backwards because of the rocket. The center of mass is now different because we have the rocket in the center of the plane, but there's going to be some type of balance between the plane being stable without the payload and the plane being stable with the payload. See, our center of pressure is in front of the center of mass. That's why. Because the center of mass was pulled back because of this giant fuel tank. Yeah, the control surfaces on these actually need to be off. I think we're okay. Yeah, now the center of pressure is slightly behind the center of mass. And then when the rocket drops, the center of mass will be even farther forward, like right here. That'll be okay. Oh, now we have to move the landing gear back. You change one thing and you have to change something else, and then you have to change something else to make sure that those initial changes are balanced. Yeah, the loading time in the game is a loading time. One more tick just for good luck. Look at the elevator. Definitely slower definitely like feeling heavier. Our surface speed is not increasing as fast. We're not gaining altitude as fast, but we are stable. We are stable. It do be flying though. Imagine this behemoth IRL. I almost could imagine it in real life, except for this part. This would have to be something not janky. No, I could imagine it. All right, we're doing it. I activated the engine. We are going to decouple. And away we go. All right, now I'm going to try and do something. Yeah, it just disappeared. I don't know what to do about that. Damn, we don't even have RCS active and we're very stable. I think it's good though. We added that extra fuel tank length. It's pretty stable. And you could clearly see that the plane wasn't like falling out of the sky after we detached from it. It's just the way the game handles vehicles you're not controlling in atmosphere is it just deletes them. It's just the nature of the game. I don't know what else. We had a Kerbal in there, by the way. We did have a Kerbal in there. So we'll just pretend that that Kerbal flew it safely back to the KSC. And we made it. It was a success. And we have 353 Delta V in order to deorbit ourselves. We'll do a victory orbit. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, if somebody can find out how to make the plane not go poof, I'll just do that. Yeah, simultaneous control of separated vessels. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, there's no way to actually control a vessel that you have separated from without it just immediately disappearing. Maybe if we put it in orbit, maybe if we were to get into the vacuum of space, but you can't do that with an airplane. The way the game handles vessels in atmosphere is if you're not controlling it, it just makes it disappear. So if anybody's figured out how to do a design like this, airplane with airplane engines, yeah, also that's a bug we just experienced. Did you see our trajectory just go from there to there? When we ran out of fuel, it just caused a huge impulse to occur. It's a bug in the game. All right, detach. I don't know what just happened. We're just gonna speed up time. We just experienced a bug, so yeah. The decoupler didn't decouple. We just experienced a bug, but as far as everything's concerned, we look. It's floating. Do you see it? So that's so odd. Whatever, dude. Yeah, so there's something weird going on with the decoupler and the fairing. I think we need the decoupler on top of the fairing. We had it below, specifically we had it below the MEM 125 multi-engine mount, which is then connected to this decoupler, which worked, but we had it below this, and because it was below that, it didn't decouple. So we'll have to redo all the struts and the fuel lines, but as far as that launch went, I'm pretty content with that. In the meantime, I'll refine this so it can launch properly and decouple properly. Why are you using an engine mount? So we can have the parachute, right? Without the engine mount, we can't connect this thing to the decoupler, right? It doesn't allow you to actually connect to the decoupler when you have a parachute on the top of the command pod. So we actually have the engine mount connected to the decoupler. Here, I'll show you. See this thing is actually what's connected, right? So we have this thing to act as an intermediary to connect to the decoupler. This thing, we can't actually connect to it on its own, right? So we connect it to the engine mount, and then we could take the engine mount and connect it to the decoupler. The problem we ran into was we had this stack separator below the engine mount. The way the engine mount seems to work is the engine mount connects through the decoupler to the fuel tank for whatever reason. So we moved the engine mount below the stack separator, directly attached to the fuel tank, so hopefully this will decouple properly so we can land safely. Yeah, thank you, Chocolate Rocket. Chocolate Rocket was the one who told me about that. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be on either later tonight or tomorrow with more Kerbal Space Program 2.